Hi, my name is Dr. Tauber, and this is Dale, dressed up as his favorite snack for Halloween, cheese, and we are here to talk to you about chocolate toxicity. So especially during Halloween time, there's the potential risks for dogs to get into chocolate at home. There's two different toxic principles of chocolate that can affect dogs when they ingest it. The first one is caffeine, and the second one is called theobromine. And depending on how much dogs ingest, they can suffer a different range of toxicity. So in very low toxic amounts that dogs are exposed to, they can potentially have some mild GI upset. So either some vomiting or some nausea, they might not want to eat, or sometimes they can also develop some diarrhea as well. In higher toxic amounts, dogs can start to get some issues with their heart. So a high heart rate, they can get some arrhythmias as well. And then in really high toxic doses that they're exposed to, dogs can potentially get some tremors or even seizures and central nervous system effects. So depending on how much chocolate your dog ingested, different treatment recommendations will be given to you. There's different amounts of theobromine in chocolate. In the unsweetened baking chocolate, that has the most of that toxic principle. And then less in dark chocolate, less in milk chocolate, less in white chocolate. If your dog did get exposed to chocolate, the best recommendation is to either call your regular veterinarian, call an emergency facility, or call ASPCA poison control. And if you have the exact amount of chocolate that your dog ingested, as with the body weight of your dog, then we can know if that amount of chocolate is going to be an issue. And depending on their recommendations, it might be to monitor at home, or if that dog ingested a scarier amount of chocolate, that recommendation might be to go to the hospital facility. Treatment recommendations start at what's called decontamination. So number one thing is to get out of as much of that chocolate as we can. So vomit induction is recommended in the hospital setting. It's not recommended to induce vomiting at home. So we induce vomiting to get out as much chocolate as possible, and then again, depending on the amount of chocolate that dogs ingested, they may receive a dose of activated charcoal to help bind some of that toxin that's still circulating in the system. If they also did ingest a really high amount, or if they're already suffering the signs of chocolate toxicity, we may also recommend keeping them in hospital. Some dogs require heart rate and rhythm monitoring, IV fluid therapy, sometimes they need some GI support, and sometimes they even need medication to help get their heart rate down. Overall, if dogs are seen pretty quickly in the early stages, dogs have a very good prognosis. They're going to do great, and they're going to be able to get through this toxicity. Of course, some of the scarier signs of the central nervous system signs, if we do see it with that amount of chocolate toxicity, we can see some side effects, but ultimately it has a good prognosis if you seek treatment immediately. So Dale and I's recommendation is to be as safe as possible during this Halloween season and stick to the safe treats at home.